there's us live on
Wow.
the internet.
Oh my gosh.
We're back.
All right.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Welcome back to the Defenders of Kobold doing our Heart campaign. This will be our third session.
Yeah.
We're down a few people tonight. I think Tyler is dropping out. He's got some things. And then April may pop in at some point tonight. So just a few people shy at first. But yeah, last week we were off as well. So a recap. You guys made it. You did your first delve last session. Went through some caves, fought a big scary repo man, adopted 2 dogs. One is a robot and one is a cave dog who's like a weird bat hybrid bulldog thing. Delivered some packages to some really paranoid people. And then we were going to pick up, like, basically you guys having stayed the night in Ravenous and then getting ready for your next expedition out to Redcap Grove, or at least that's where Jake was told he's needing to head.
Were we able to recover any stress?
Yeah, so stress is recovered not just through sleep. I don't think you get any just from sleeping.
No, you gotta
but
do
like
something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bam.
it's trading in with haunts and things. Is there any like stress that you're really needing to recover at the moment?
I was just curious. I've got some blood stress, so I just
Same.
wasn't sure.
Can we just hit
yeah.
up like a tavern or bar or some shit and just...
Yeah. There's it's a pretty populated town, so you could definitely find like a doctor to.
Okay.
Basically, the way it works is you find a doctor who specializes in blood stress, and then you trade an item and you roll the die value of the item, and then it subtracts that stress.
Okay.
From whichever. So
actually, now that you mention it, you people are looking pretty roughed up. It just so happens that I think some of my fellow creatures can handle at least some of that.
No.
Would you mind if I... Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else want some bees inside them?
Leave me
Is
be.
it permanent?
No.
Yes.
I mean, well, if you want it to be.
Well, then.
No?
No.
Okay, it can just be temporary then. Part of the bee.
Part of the bee.
Just
Part of the
tip.
bee, and just for a little bit.
Just a tip.
All right. I will let you do this. I will try this.
Very well. In that case, I will perform some hive healing to repair D6 blood damage.
Ooh, shit.
awesome.
3.
All right.
Perfect.
Are all the effects like flavor? Or does it have any other lingering dealio?
The swarm within you offers up its members as sacrifices to your cause, just like you offer yourself up to the hive. Some of the bees inside you develop a sting that soothes the mind when injected. My body functions as a Mend Mind D6 item, but I've also got a minor ability tacked onto that, Painless. Now it also functions as a Mend Blood D6 item.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So you just got a bunch of like stingers that heal people.
Dr. Bees.
Absolutely.
All right.
All
well,
right.
I feel
You
pretty
don't even
good
have
now.
to take off your armor. You know, they just kind of find their way in the nooks and crannies.
which is
sun a little
good
bit.
because my armor is it's kind of like Space Marine armor. It's kind of bolted to me in places.
And they
Yeah.
just stab you in the face a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
they're able to
So,
crawl in. Probably is really painful, like at first, but then
Yeah.
it just kind of washes over. Kind of like when you get like a vaccine or a pick
Yeah.
or something like that. It'll
it's
sting immediately.
Local
But then,
anesthesia.
yeah, pretty much.
yeah,
Bad and
I,
then fine.
I also my armor now vents steam pretty much whenever I want it to. So just
okay.
an FYI, I can make a bit of a cloud with that.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like he's some sort of steampunk.
Yeah, you can recover. What was it? It was a D6. You said of blood, Jake.
Yep.
Yep,
I
he
got
rolled it.
3.
All right. Great.
Or I can mark a D4 of stress to my blood to have it function as a D8, which I am not doing.
Understandable.
I closed the wrong tab. I need to get the game back open. Because that's important. All right. So yeah, you're feeling a lot better after, and the bees crawl out. Or actually, they probably die.
They just die.
Stun. Yeah.
I got dead bees.
You might have to vent some of the dead bees out so they're not rattling around in there, but
part of your secret attack. Dead bees.
Yeah.
But now your steam smells like honey, so
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Very pleasant.
All right. Is there anything else that anyone's wanting to do in this town before we head out?
just go eat or hit a doctor to get healed up. That's all I'm needing.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a few. And then Caleb, who you guys were staying with for the night, he would point you to. He's like, oh, there's only one guy in town that I trust. We go way back. And he's like, I trust him for healing at least, not for anything else.
Okay, okay. Are you sure he's not stealing secrets from your blood?
Probably is, but I've learned to, combat such methods of interrogation.
Do the old blood through a coffee filter.
Yeah. I'm on other ways. Oh, that's a good idea.
It is. You should try it.
He's like, starts thinking about that.
Maximum iteration.
Yeah. But he'll point you to another spot in town. You're able to find a doctor who advertises himself as such, and then much like everyone else in the town, they seem very not giving up too much information. They're like wearing a trench coat. They've got the hat. They slide their door open just a little bit. Like, who is it? Who sent you here?
I sent me here because you're a doctor, and I got bit by a giant bat dog, who's now my pet.
That one.
This one.
And where at?
The ass. Where else?
And he slides that shut, and he slides open one that's at like waist height on the door and looks through.
Insert ass.
It's like, all right. Shuts the door, and it creaks open. Lets you inside. He's got just a small little like doctor station set up. You see there's like lots of books and things. He's got kind of one of those like conspiracy theorist boards going on where there's just like random pictures and news articles and like string everywhere. But in the middle of that, he's got just a little like barber looking chair stool thing set up. You see like a few blood bags, some saws, some scalpels, and then just a bunch of like herbs and potion looking things on one side. And you can burn a resource to heal with him.
Well, no, he did not. No, I'm glad he did not insert the doctor's probe. You know what? He's a doctor.
Yeah.
I will sacrifice my hairdressing scissors, which is a D4.
Okay. Fantastic. He's like, oh, I can use these. And, you see he places them back next to some pretty bent up, bad looking scissors. And just roll your D4 there, and you can heal that much blood.
Good. I needed 2.
Awesome. Yep. Back up full.
Nice.
All right. So, Jake, you were told to get to the Redcap Grove. Is there? Yes. Is there? Are you like relaying verbatim what you were told, or are you selling it differently to the rest of the party to move on?
There's a very valuable item to be picked up at the Redcap Grove, I've been told by a freakish mutant made mostly of plants, but something that's capable of counteracting a very powerful curse that's been dealt out by witches in the area. I feel that it might be worth investigating this. If anything, I could probably use some extra flowers.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
All right.
Excellent.
Sure.
And you guys would know that it is deeper into the heart. So, on your general trajectory of trying to get down to the center, it's not out of the way. Although, at the mention of curse, you guys notice that you don't see W.C. Clayton in your party. You don't really remember seeing him wake up with you guys.
He's dead.
You didn't really see him.
I look at Theo. I'm like, did you kill him? It
he
just
was a
said body.
pretender anyways.
All right.
You don't remember him getting up in the morning. And
Joined the secret society.
He did.
you backtrace your steps and you return back to Caleb's. You go to his cot that he was sleeping in the room. And one thing you notice, there's like kind of the lights catching his cot a little bit weird. And you see like kind of this reflection coming from where he's at. And you see like just a little bit of his hair kind of poking through over the blanket. Does anyone go to wake him or anything in particular? Okay.
Enthusiastically.
To become the plant.
So, how would you try to wake him?
Flip the cock.
Yes. God.
The
All
only
right.
way.
Don't ask
So you
silly
go-
questions.
Kind of standing back and just kind
You
of
go to flip the cot, and it's a lot heavier than you're expecting. So you like go to lift it, and then you kind of have to like reposition your hands, and you hear just this really solid singular thunk as he hits the ground.
Good God, he's turned to stone.
And you see that he seems to be encased in some sort of like glass crystalline looking structure.
Are you sure it's not Marmite?
Pretty sure.
All right.
Yes, he glass that's of a similar color and texture to what you saw, Jake, in the bead. It's got that same kind of like amberish hue to it. It's like seemingly completely encased his body, and it's protruding from just random spots of his skin. So there's just like these little random juts that have broken through different parts of his skin, part of his face. It's kind of bulging out the back of one of his eyes a little bit.
I think I should mention this might be that curse that's been going around in the area. So, again, something to counteract. Well, that would be handy.
Do we just leave him here then?
No, his next of kin or anything.
Caleb, do you have
Yeah,
any
the-
use for anything like this by any chance?
Is he contagious?
No?
You can leave him here then. I haven't seen
Okay.
anything like that. I want to figure it out. Interesting that one of my package delivery men was targeted by some sort of curse. I will want to look into it further.
Oh, yes, absolutely. This is
That's definitely what it was. Yes.
Look who's here.
I have a feeling this must have been originally meant for me, but this poor lad took the blow instead.
absolutely. It must have been part
I-
of that robot dog that we found the other day.
Probably. I owe it to him to figure out what's going on here. And so you can leave him. I'll dispose of him eventually.
You get to the bottom of this and tell us what you find out whenever you do.
Don't get it in your skin.
Noted. And you see him like kind of go over and start dragging the the corpse of W.C. Clayton very slowly over to one of his desks, and he picks up some chisels and starts hacking away at it as you guys leave.
Okay.
Is April with us?
There.
Go.
Hello.
Hello.
You made it.
Hello.
Just barely.
Just in
That's all
time to
good.
miss the fate of W.C. Clayton, who is now crystallized.
Yeah, pretty much.
Amber fine?
Basically, the bead that he touched that shot glass into his hand, and it just kind of kept growing in his system and then protruded. Now he's just kind of encased in glass and is dead.
He's dead as shit.
Totally normal.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah. And Caleb offered to take him off your guys' hands and figure out what happened to him. He believes that was a hit attempt on him. And, no one really contested that. So he's pretty eagerly just digging into it himself, making up some reason. But yeah, was there any stress or anything that you needed to heal on your character? Because we were about to start a new delve, but you basically, the way healing works in this game is if you have a resource, you can spend it with a NPC who's able to heal a particular type of damage. And then you roll whatever the resource was, and you heal that much.
That is a really good question that I wish I had an answer to. Let me pull it up really quick. I think I did have some stress. I think I had some resource stress.
Yes.
Some supply stress.
You had a little bit of supply stress, and looks like you've got 4 mind as well.
Yeah, plenty of mind stress. So either of those would be good.
I have just the thing for your mind stress.
It's fine. It's not that bad.
Yes, indeed. I have previously healed Sir Galvin with, one of my herbal remedies. If you would just hold out your arm right quick, I could fix you right up.
Does it involve the bees?
It does.
No,
It
of course
you mean it there,
absolutely
Chuck?
does.
Not the bees, just a bee.
No, I saw
Just
a good number of them
a
go
bee?
into Sir Galvin's armor. None of them came out.
Oh,
Not alive.
Now, only the stingers are in him. Now,
I think I'm okay, but thank you though.
Come on. I don't know where to heal
It
mine.
only hurts for a little bit.
That is actually kind of feels pretty good.
I only have fortune stress, so thankfully I need no bees.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, if it's mind stress, you can actually trade with Keegan.
Michael
or-
T.
Was it? Or did I say Caleb? The guy that you're with. You can trade with him because he's got the tea. He offered you some tea for free last time, but you could trade with him any
beautiful.
resource to get like another thing of that.
Beautiful.
So.
Okay.
And yep, so just choose whichever. Basically, you expend that resource, and then you roll the die, and then you could subtract that much from whatever stress.
Which die was?
So you've got to go
So
down
it's based
to your
on what
resource.
the item it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like in your resource item, so like say you had like one of the stamps or something,
Oh.
like you could expend that item by giving it to him as a trade, and then you roll whatever the die value is of it, and whatever you roll is how much you heal.
Okay.
So.
Oh.
Oof.
No.
Ouch.
Heal one at least.
That can
Like-
happen also.
One's better
Yeah.
than none.
Yes.
Like, oh, thank you for this vial of ink. It's cursed. Oh, thanks.
Maybe just a sip of tea then.
Yeah, right.
Just
well, considering the
teaspoon.
town we're in, the guy's probably like, well, I know who I can write a letter to with this.
Right. But all right. So yeah, you guys get ready to embark on your next delve to the Redcap Grove. After talking to some people in town for a little bit, you figure out the direction you need to go through. Kind of 2 locations through this one delve. You're told you have to pass through. Most people call it the dunes that are right next to the area, but in the larger region, it's called the Grip Dunes. And then just past the Grip Dunes is the Red Cap Forest, and then the Grove is within the forest. So, told which direction to head for that. This delve is a D8 stress level, and Desolate and Wild. Desolate for the dunes, Wild for the forest. So it can pack a punch. Right.
And neither of those.
I have wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys head out of town. For the first part, as you're venturing out, it looks pretty similar to the previous delve that you're in, where it's kind of some tunnels and hallways, but that doesn't last very long. And probably only after like your first 5 minutes of taking a new tunnel, the rock kind of looks like it's broken. You see like lots of cracks, and it looks like it's shifted around a bunch. You're heading pretty steep downward after a little bit, and then this tunnel opens up, and you're now in a massive cavern. Completely pitch black. There's no like natural lighting from anything, so it'll just be the lighting that you guys have. Like whoever's got lanterns, you can say you do or not. That's a standard thing that you could have.
I've got dark vision.
All right.
I do actually, but I just wanted to be that dick.
Okay.
I have a pair of broken night vision goggles I'd like to get fixed sometime soon.
I can fix
Oh, yeah.
those.
I have a sanguinary array.
The hell is it?
Which,
I mean,
We making up words now?
my
I've got a crock
inefficient
pot.
mortal heart is supplanted by a rig that extracts, filters, and nourishes my vital fluids. One side effect is that my blood now acts as an antenna for the scattershot electrical impulses of the heart. So basically, if one of my senses are unusable, I can replace it with the weird echoes that shudder through my exposed blood.
It's
This
fucked
sounds
up.
juicy.
You have bat blood.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. I will keep mind of that. But yeah, so it opens up, and you guys find yourself in the Grip Dunes. So the Grip Dunes are located way underneath what's known as Grip Station, which is one of the more popular landmarks that you guys have probably heard of at some point. It is a station that's kind of suspended over a void of caverns and ravines and things. And above it are tons of these crystals that kind of always break loose and fall away. All the ones that are directly above the station have been kind of secured in some way that they don't destroy the station itself. But as you're approaching, it's pretty dangerous. And normally when you're approaching Grip Station, it's a hazard to avoid those crystals. But as they fall down and they fall through the ravines and they tumble deeper and deeper into the earth, eventually they get shattered and busted up so much, and they finally get deposited down in the Grip Dunes. And it's this open cavern, and the dunes and sand is just these little tiny like crystal sand particulates of hundreds and thousands of these crystals that have fallen over many, many, many years. So the light of your lanterns is constantly picking up little flecks of light and glitter as it's ricocheting around. Some of the chunks are bigger than others, so it almost looks like there's eyes that are kind of seeing you from here to there as they're reflecting through.
don't look at me.
Air's really stale down here. It's really quiet. You don't see any other like sources of light other than your lanterns and things, and just hear like kind of gentle whistling of wind as it's going through the different spaces in the caverns, and occasionally you'll hear just like this kind of glassy shattering sound of another crystal tumbling down in. You make your way. And it's after about probably the first hour or two that you've been traveling that you hear your first different sound. Starts out as kind of like this almost oceany roar that slowly builds up, and you hear this like low rumbling sound, and off in the distance, kind of in front of you a little bit, you see one of the dunes is shifting a little bit and moving across the horizon. But it seems to be like kind of in trajectory along the path that you guys are winding through here. As it approaches, it just seems to be this shuffling mound. It's less reflective than a lot of the other dunes. It seems to be slightly more solid.
We're surrounded by sand, right?
It's pretty much sand. It's like little tiny crystal
Ignition
shards
zero?
that are basically sand.
Good. I eat a handful.
Okay.
Just a scoop and down the hatch.
Just like a bag of potato sand chips.
Uh-huh.
Gonna want to wash that down with something, or
I'll say like it's fine enough that it doesn't immediately damage you, but
Yes.
you're like pick out the particularly
Yeah,
glassy
yeah.
bits, you know. So it's more like you just kind of ate sand, which
not
doesn't
like,
really cause damage.
Listen,
not like
kids
you
have
just
been
ate a
eating
handful
it for
of-
millions of years. I'm sure I'll be fine.
not like you ate a handful of fiberglass. Like,
No,
Yeah.
that'd be terrible.
Hmm,
Done it
delicious.
before.
But there's also like it's not purely the crystal. There's like also lots of dirt and rock debris and stuff too. That's also broken free. So nice mixture there. But yeah, you were able to pick up the desolate domain
Yeah.
from doing that.
Cat.
Yeah, it seems to be this mound is kind of approaching you guys. It's heading like there's kind of like this groove of a path that you guys have been following that's less sandy, so it's not really impeding your movement. And it kind of winds through. And it seems like this dune kind of was moving horizontally, fell into this groove, and then is now traveling along it towards you guys.
Was it
Anybody-
sizable or
Seems to be a little bit taller than you guys. Probably like if the average person in your party is like 5 to 6 feet, this dune looks to be maybe 8 feet tall.
Anybody have an idea what
that
that is?
Death.
Could be friendly.
As it gets a little bit closer, seems to be made of like a mass of a bunch of tiny objects that are kind of constantly falling over each other. And if anyone's particularly observant in the night, you said you have dark vision,
Yes.
Chuck. So you'd probably be the first to see it, but it looks like a massive pile of crystal and stone crabs that are just
Holy
constantly
shit.
rolling over each other. Each one looks individually to be about like that big-ish. But they just are in this massive pile rolling over themselves.
Did anyone
in your
bring
way.
any butter?
No.
I brought honey.
What do your knowlish eyes see?
Oh, it's a shitload of crabs.
Oh,
just like get out of the way?
Yeah, all right.
you can do that.
All right. So yeah, you'll have a few options. You can either try to evade out of the way. You could just try to like stand your ground and endure it, or you could try to climb it with a delve test. So delve, endure, or evade, like whatever you want to try. Or if you have any other thing that you would like to try as well.
I will just endure it.
Okay.
You know what? If you're doing it, I'm doing it.
All right.
Yeah. So it'll be endure desolate test.
Genevieve, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, and have we picked up any other complications or anything? I haven't seen.
Is this standard difficulty or risky?
This is standard difficulty.
I have no idea how many complications you have.
I'm going to be
You
avoiding
were
it.
using them secretly.
I have been using them secretly. I know how many I have left over. I don't know if I got any more of this.
So evade and then desolate.
Yeah, evade desolate.
Yes.
So if you're like trying to jump clear out of the way of them, then
Look at that.
Whew.
I did like brace and take it.
Not good at
All right.
anything except kill.
I did it.
If you want to try to attack the mound and see if you can put a dent in it, maybe enough for you to
Shoot a hole through it and jump through.
There
Yeah.
we go. Let's do that then.
see if they react.
Oh, I started blasting.
I'll say if you are doing a like kill test, unless do you have like a shotgun type weapon or is it more like a pinpoint type weapon?
It's a rifle.
So I'll say roll it at risky because of that,
Oh,
but
boy.
I'll still let you do that.
I might as well just do something I'm bad at then. But oh well. Yeah, success at a cost. That seems all right.
Yeah. So,
Grab
looks
battle.
like Jake and Dan are the only two that are going to take any stress. So roll your guys' stress there.
What size are we rolling?
This is a D8.
Ooh, ouch. Oh, of
Actually,
course.
we'll say.
Oh my god.
I'll say with your critical success there, April, I'll let you give one of them a reroll.
Okay, Dan, try that again.
Let's see if we could do a little better, and by that I mean worse. Yay!
Hey.
One less.
Is this
One is
gonna
better
be-
than none.
I
See, I
don't
started
blood
saying
stress?
in my head, there's no way you can roll another 8. And
And
I
this
thought, no, there's
is-
a way he can roll.
Keep doing it.
This is blood stress.
Blood stress.
As
Okay.
it's basically a bunch of really sharp stone and crystal crabs that are like
Okay,
going through. So you'll just be cut up a
well,
whole
you-
bunch as they.
You all, everyone's probably within close range of me. Like,
Yeah, and especially because you're enduring it there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
so they get +1 to their blood protection.
Okay. So
I'm using my
One
in
less
the
stress there.
blood ability to take that as echo stress instead.
okay. Mark it as that.
Right. I am trying to figure out where I have 3 blood protection from, and if I should have 4 or not.
I think you had 20.
I don't know.
So how does Fallout work again?
So after you mark the like correct amount of stress on your sheet, you'll do the Fallout roll. I think you can do like the
You
prepare
Click
Fallout roll.
the heart. It should apply the stress and then fallout. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you do that, it'll know what protection you have and subtract it out if you have that on your sheet.
Well, let's just go ahead and stick that on there then. I'm just gonna. There.
So,
Did you already have echo stress?
I
Jake?
did. I did.
Okay. All right. So,
Somehow I'm all right.
yeah, you're all right there. And then Jake, you're gonna take a minor echo fallout. Looks like.
Oh baby.
I believe that was one of your points. So
Yes, it
you
was.
can immediately take that. Let's roll to see what happens. Rollable tables, minor echo. Echo ones are always strange.
Yes, it should be.
They are always interesting.
Yes.
Bubbos.
Oh boy.
Oh, oh.
Your skin blisters and bubbles when you take blood stress. Take an extra D4 as the boils split and burst. Ongoing.
no.
Juicy.
Yeah. And so much like healing stress, you can also expend resources to heal fallout conditions when you find a healer of that type in a town. So if you find, because this is an echo fallout, if you find someone that can heal echo stress, you can spend your resource instead to get rid of that. So taking some extra blood damage for a while as your skin blisters up. They probably get like infected or something as like all these crabs just kind of comb through you there. Crabs and bees don't mix, I guess.
I don't believe it.
But with that, it's come through everybody else. No one else is hurt by it, and it kind of continues through. Dan, you shot, and it did like open it up a little bit, so you weren't hit by quite as many. And then after shooting it too, it kind of started to dissolve the pile, and it broke apart some. And then you see that after the mound moves through you guys, it kind of dissolves and spreads on both sides on either side of the trail.
Are there any interesting crab bits to pick up?
There are several dead crabs because you killed some. So I'll say that you can loot up some dead crab bits as a...
It's always good to gather resources.
Yeah, that's true.
Shit.
Yeah.
Can I grab some crab bits?
I'll grab some.
Yeah, I'll say everyone's able to get a D4 of crab bits.
Are they meaty inside?
They are. They've got a pretty hard shell. And if you do take some time to prepare them, which would be a... What did I say that test is going to be?
And what domain would they be?
That's
Also a good question. Desolate.
Desolate, yeah. Yeah. So if you did a... what skill would be like preparing? Maybe delve.
What are we doing?
If you do a successful skill test on the crabs, you can like prepare the meat, and they'll be more valuable. But just like as raw, like they're kind of hard to deal with like that, and it takes quite a lot of work to like break them
Just
all.
crabe.
Yeah.
Hunt or delve?
Hunt.
I'm fine with either of those. Yeah, hunt or delve, desolate. If you were able to do a successful test at standard difficulty, then you can turn that into a D6. If you fail, though, you'll destroy them.
Those jerks.
Indeed.
All right. So with that, whoever wants to roll against the delve, it's a standard D4 unless someone has a delve item.
We got the critical success.
Oh yeah, April, you got yours. So if you want to roll, if you have a delve item or like any of your items, if they say delve, you can use that die size. And then if not, it's just a D4.
I do not, so just a D4.
All right. 3, that's solid. Okay. Okay. So, as you guys continue onwards, it's quiet again. And the next thing that you see, after, again, another hour or so, you've noticed that the ceiling was like pretty close to you guys at the start of this, but it seems to have been like opening up a little bit more, and it's been getting more and more spacious. And the dunes have been cutting down in size just a little bit. You're seeing that a lot of the dunes, like there's a lot less fine sand where you're going, and there's more like full chunks of just giant crystal shards that are kind of just sitting in the little deposits now. And because there's more of these large shards, you don't notice immediately that there is what looks to be like maybe a group of people or something. You see just like a big mass that looks to be about the size of a party. They don't have any lights on them though, but you do see them kind of off in the distance. They're closer than you would initially suspect, so maybe it's just some way that, you know, they were behind a crystal just at the perfect angle that you weren't really able to see them, right? But you do just see kind of this like mob of people.
Think we should very cautiously go say hello.
They seem to not be on the path as well. They're like a little bit off.
Maybe we yell at them from the path.
And
I
they're,
can observe them
guys.
from afar with bees.
okay.
While he's observing them, I am going to be sneaking over there.
Sure. Do you have to do a test for your bee thing, Jake?
No, thanks to my brand new ability, Many Eyes, each of my companions is a vessel for my sight. I gain a discern skill, and when I stand still and close my eyes, I can see through the eyes of any of my bees.
Okay. Alrighty. Does it give like a range limit or anything on them?
It says I can't control the bees directly, but I have enough at my disposal to cover the area around me.
Okay. I'll say there's not really anything in the area that would obstruct that, so you're able to kind of let them spread out.
I suppose I could
and do
just
their
set
thing.
a bee on Xurl.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I'm gonna just Sir Galvin will just like stride up to them, not subtle, not aggressively, but just
Okay. Are you letting Xurl be behind you?
Yeah.
Or like, okay.
I'm letting
Yes.
him go do his own thing. I'm not trying to be sneaky, so
Okay.
I've
I'm
got
acting
your
more
back.
as distraction.
Sure. So Chuck, give me that sneak desolate test.
You got it.
And it would just be standard.
Yes.
Success. Okay. They do not notice you. And I'll say kind of both around at the same time, Jake and John. As you approach, it seems to be like a mob of people, and as you're getting closer, you're getting like more detail of what they're wearing. They seem to have like mining equipment. They've got like hard hats and things. You see a few of them are holding pickaxes. One of them is dragging like what looks to be like a wheelbarrow behind. But they are dragging the wheelbarrow behind. It's not on its wheel, and it's just being held. As you're getting closer to it, was kind of hard to tell at first because like it's dark, so color is a little bit hard to discern. But you can't really see where the tools and equipment that they're wearing starts and ends, and where their skin starts and ends. It's been like fused into one mass. And also, you can't really tell where individual people start and end. They've also seemed to just be fused into this weird mass of flesh. And I will say you notice that like right as you're getting in range to call out if you want to say anything.
If I see that, I'm just like, and just start backing up.
You didn't stealth up, so
No.
you don't call out, but you do see that they like were kind of moving, and they stop as you get closer, and you start backing up, and you see a few of the heads of the people kind of turn, and you can tell like their eyes are looking at you as they're glinting a little bit, and it seems to be slowly kind of shambling towards you guys, but not outpacing you.
Okay.
Is as I'm sneaking, how high is the ceiling?
Pretty high, like probably a good 40 to 50 feet.
Any stalactites holding like crystal stalactites dangling down low enough that I could shimmy up?
Yeah, so they are actually kind of gathered around one. It looks like they were kind of mindlessly still. There's like some programming left in their head that they think they're supposed to be mining these, and they're just kind of like uselessly have been hitting one. So there's a big crystal that you could climb up right next to them.
All right. Well, maintaining my stealth, I definitely need to do that.
Okay. I think that'll be a delve desolate test.
Yes.
Delve is climbing, so you can do that at standard.
No. I don't want to fuck this up. So I'm going to use one of our banked rerolls.
Okay.
We've only got 7
That's fair.
after this. There we go.
Critical success. All right. So with that, you are able to perch yourself up. You don't break your stealth as you're climbing. What is it that you're wanting to do after you gain some height?
Well, I'm watching.
Okay.
And I want to be able to, if things go sideways, catch them unaware.
Okay.
Make a
I will
very
say-
risky kind of entrance, you could say.
Okay. That's fair. What I will say with your critical success is that you don't break stealth. You're able to get a good vantage point, and also with your dark vision on top of that, you get a very good look at these guys. It's just a single mass of like all this flesh, and it looks like all the stuff they're carrying has been turned to flesh. So you're not really sure, other than flesh, if there'd be much to gain from fighting it.
Okay.
Killing it. But that's still, if you want that, you could definitely like take up a resource of that, but you don't see like any real like mining equipment that you'd get out of it.
That's fine. I'll watch. I see Sir Galvin backing away.
Mhm.
I'll
And
wait.
it seems to be like kind of
Briefly.
drawn to him.
Yeah.
Briefly
So
backing
it's
away.
shambling kind of at the pace that he's backing away from.
Yes, I'm going to stay up here watching. That way I can be reinforcements quickly if needed.
Okay.
As I near my companions, I'm like, we should go quickly.
Do you want me to shoot it?
It's a lot of it. It's
Just-
some sort of big mass. Yeah, we should go. We should go.
Start walking.
As you start talking, the added noise seems to be like kind of stimulating it and waking it up a little bit more, and it seems to be picking up speed.
Oh man, so I'm gonna have to do my pony trot to get out of here instead.
But
Everybody kind of do that half jog. Like,
The prancer
Yeah.
size thing.
Just a little gallop.
Speed walking.
Yeah.
Chuck, from your vantage point,
Yes.
and you're able to get a much more accurate read of its speed because you're above it. You can see how it's moving.
everything.
Yeah, you can tell it's going to catch up to everybody if they try to run away.
Well, can't have that. Flying elbow drop. Center mass.
All right.
I'll yell
Let's
out,
see.
don't worry. I've
And-
got it.
It must be a risky action for your dramatic actions. So I'll let you do this as a kill test. I'll give you mastery for the height that you're dropping from, but it has to be risky. And
Just
also
like
from the
to-
critical success. Like
to remind
you did
you-
get a very good perch to jump.
Of what happened last time one of our characters willingly entered a wall of flesh.
How did that go, Jake?
death before combat started. As in death, then initiative was rolled.
Yeah, they wore you like how like parakeets and shit will put like strips of paper like in their feathers. They wore your body like that.
And thus Lord Var, future god of the world, was slain instantly.
Anyway, I
I
regret
remember
nothing.
that.
Here I go.
Okay. Yeah. So roll your test there.
No, that's a big failure.
That is
Yikes.
a failure.
I'm good.
We
with
still
that,
got those
though.
rerolls.
Nah, I'm good with it.
Okay.
It didn't say I had to be successful. It just said I had to do it.
No, it just has to be a risky action to start off
Just gonna check that
the
off.
encounter. Yep.
Look back and we see the shambling of mass of flesh, and then just sand go.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Joe Galvin's like,
And
reversing
much
direction.
because it's not quite the softest landing spot, that is why you are taking a D8 of stress from this delve.
Oof.
Good, good.
So, D8 blood as you fall.
Oh, do I need to roll that? I'll roll that.
Yeah, you can do that as your.
And my protection eats
Hey.
that.
Awesome.
Nice.
So,
Consequences.
take no
for
stress.
chumps.
You've fallen from this height before. You know
Right.
how to fall, right? But you definitely distracted off it, though. So, they seem to have been like kind of gaining speed, trying to go towards the party, and you crash into the sand behind it and kick up a lot of dust, and it turns to face you.
I shoot it now, then.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, yeah, you can roll that kill desolate test.
All right.
You got it.
Is it standard?
Yes.
Good. That means I've got a chance of succeeding.
Mm-hmm. I'm not burning my complications yet.
I was successful.
Okay. Roll damage.
All right, and it is piercing and brutal. I will roll 2d8s. Doesn't matter.
You get the sense that like it's so fleshy when it impacts. You get the sense that it doesn't have any sort of blood resistance.
Good,
But,
because
so it just
I needed it
takes
for
that.
my entire 2 damage.
So at least you don't have to spend some supply stress. But yeah, you hit it for 2. And you punch like a hole straight through part of the wall. It kind of recoils and shrivels up a bit at that. And you see it trying to like rebuild, but it's bleeding. It's real gross.
Where were these 2s when I took stress earlier?
Right.
Right?
Sir Galvin will kick on his will vent steam and then move in to attack.
Okay.
And
Roll that. It's kill desolate at standard. Unless you have an ability that says it's a different test. Success. All right. Yeah. Roll for damage. Another 2.
another.
And this is with your fire door
Yep.
shield.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you just kind of bash it and you leave a big gouge in its skin as your metal shreds into a bit. You see it hurts it. It kind of recoils back. You hear the cry of like 5 different voices at the same time. Just and it seems to be in pain. Alrighty. Who else is going?
Genevieve is staying back away from everything. Just
Okay.
going, it's too many legs, too many legs.
Yeah. You can't
trying
even
not
count
to
how many
look at
legs
that.
'cause some of them are fused together and stuff. It's
Yeah.
A lot of them are
Mhm.
pointed the right way, but they're still stepping
Mhm.
towards you.
Something's wrong with it. Something's wrong with it. And she's just backing away anytime they move closer.
Yeah. And there are
As
plenty
she's
of like
pointing at
little-
it, as she's reaching out to point at it, I'll send some bees to sting her for some mind healing.
Alrighty.
Just immediate screaming.
Yeah. And I don't think
Oh
you
my
have to
gosh.
roll for that. do you?
Oh man.
Or do you?
I have the skill of mend now, which I assume is something that I would have to roll for.
Does that ability say like there's any test associated with it?
It says that it just counts as an item for mending.
Oh, okay. Does it say what die value? As you said, it was a D6, right?
That's
So
right.
maybe
Really?
that would maybe make sense that you make a mend test and then she gets to use
Especially
the
because
D6.
she's not willing.
Yeah.
No.
Not voluntary. So yeah, I'll say with a critical success, like she barely even notices what's happening. Like you feel like a prick, but it immediately feels better, so you don't really question it too much.
Okay.
And you feel whatever. I'll let you roll that at double the
2d6.
yeah, or like roll a d6 and then times it by 2 as a critical.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
Dang.
wow.
There you go.
Oh. All
12
right.
echo healed.
Mind. I thought she had mind damage.
Yep.
Oh, mind.
Mhm,
Sorry, yeah,
yeah.
mind. That's what I meant.
What?
I get those two.
of the heart
Yeah,
are we
so-
on?
We are on 2.
What the fuck? That's awesome. That changes everything.
Yeah,
Does
you
it?
guys descended quite a bit.
My base protection is always equal to the level of the heart we're on.
Oh, that's nice.
All right.
Who's doing what?
Yes, whoever, this thing's still up. Hasn't really retaliated a whole lot because no one's failed to test against it yet. So whoever wants to keep hitting it still got hit points, still got resistance.
In
One
the
of us
middle of
goes.
the zero.
You go first, Sir
Yeah,
Goblin.
it,
All right.
it doesn't necessarily, like, you can go as many times in a row as you want. There's
Sure.
no like
Yeah.
order that has to happen in this.
There's no order.
I just
always
figured
try to
since
get-
he was in the middle of it, it would make sense. But I'll go. Bashing
Sure.
away. All right.
That's at a cost. Okay. Do another bash. So roll your stress against it.
Yep. And what? It's a D8. You said the stress dice.
Yeah, the stress dice that you will take. Yeah. Roll that d8.
You roll whatever your items die is
Oh.
against it.
1.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and then the stress that it takes is the item.
Yep.
So
I do.
alright, it takes
2 more.
2.
Yep.
Okay.
I got,
And then it deals 1 to you, but I'm pretty sure you have way more than that in blood
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah.
So you see that, like, as you hit it with your shield, it tries to like fuse to your shield and like crawl up your arm a little bit, but it's not able to break
Ugh.
through your armor, and it seems like it takes a lot longer to stick to anything that's like fully metal. Maybe if your arm was out, it would stick to it quicker.
Oh.
But
Maybe try and shoot it where it's globbing on him.
I
yeah,
totally forgot with the so anybody that's within, so for myself and anyone within like arm's reach of me, when I've got my steam going, it reduces the damage die by a die type.
oh, okay,
For if someone's trying to attack us. So
noted. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll drop it down to a d6 then,
Yeah.
whenever anyone fails a test against it.
Mhm.
Alrighty.
I am going to lose my shit by activating my chimeric strain. And since I just finished that thing, I also now have a new ability tied to it called Berserk. So I grow in size, my skin splits open, my bones contort as I grow into this giant, terrifying beast. I
Alright.
do take D6 echo stress while doing this.
Okay. Roll that.
5.
Believe we take D6 pants stress as well.
But good thing we're on level 2, because that means I only take 3.
Yep.
All right, do we got to roll the thing to see if I get a fallout on that?
Yes. If you marked any stress on that, so
Is that a D8
Roll
for this
your-
level? What is it?
it's a D12.
All right.
Right when you're
The
doing
fallout
the-
roll just to
fallout-
do its own thing. It's the stress that's a D8.
Yeah.
Ah, I rolled a 4.
So-
I've got 3. I'm good.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just go fucking ham with my goddamn claws.
All right.
So this will be a
Land it.
kill.
Yep. Kill Desolate.
Yeah, success.
And success. Okay.
All right.
Roll
My
that damage.
damage on that. Just 2 points, but it also has piercing, brutal, and weird. I never
Okay.
remember what any of those do. Piercing is
Brutal device.
Yeah. I don't know-
Piercing bypasses protection.
I don't know how it works if you have weird and brutal at the same time, because they're both re-roll once and take the higher.
when you inflict stress with this item, roll the maximum amount, marks that stress, or mark D6 stress to echo. So it means I will do 4 damage to them, but I take D6 echo.
I think, well, it would be, you have to re-roll it again to see if you, I think you only mark stress if you roll the maximum amount on the D4.
Oh, that sounds
Only if you roll a D4 on the D4.
And
Yeah.
roll. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you roll a d4 again to see if you get higher.
2.
So and then you take the highest of the 2. So 2 stress. And then you don't mark anything. So
Yes, and they don't get
2 more stress on it.
any blood protection.
You tear into it. You cut a few gouges.
Yes.
It seems to like kind of be thinning out. Like you're on one side of it, and Galvin's on the other, and so it's kind of like stretching itself thin. And it looks pretty weak now. It's still up though.
We'll give it one more pew pew here then.
All right.
Pew pew
Yeah.
shit
If you want
out
to
of
shoot it,
Ooh, I do.
success.
Pew pew.
All right.
Seven.
All that damage. 7.
7
All right.
it is.
It had 2 health left. So with that 7, I'm going to say like it kind of stretched itself thin, and you're positioned so you just shoot it down like the length of it, and you kind of split it in half as your bullet just carves through, and 2 halves slump over, and it is dead.
We did it.
Nice.
Did it. And again, there's so all of its equipment is totally fused into its flesh. It retains some of its color, but the whole thing is just flesh. You're able to carve up whatever you want of it.
Yeah.
So you can get a D6 cursed flesh.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Gonna get some flesh hammer and some flesh pickaxe.
Yep.
I guess I'll get some cursed flesh.
It's
Never
good.
know.
He's like, is it
Never-
dag?
There's enough for 2 D6. So like whoever's
I'm taking
2 people can take a D6 of cursed flesh.
Okay.
I'll let others do it. I'm good with not carrying around cursed flesh.
Listen,
Yeah, but
it's
somebody
just,
else.
Yeah.
you know, trail rations. Delve
Yeah,
rations.
Yum. If anybody else
Genevieve
wants
will
to-
dive in then.
This is Xurl and Dan taking the flesh.
Genevieve and Xurl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Team
Just
All right.
D6?
Yeah, so just write D6 flesh cursed.
Oh.
Yep.
You
So
can add
now
it
if
to your
you-
resources, and it'll have little menus for everything.
Yeah, so the domain on it is cursed, meaning so like if you find not the point of the domains and items is that not every vendor will accept every domain.
I'll take cursed.
Some vendors, yeah, some vendors won't like cursed. Some don't like technology. Some don't like any random arbitrary thing. Kind of just depending on where you're at, whatever
needs
makes
to
sense
be
for
made.
that type of person. Yeah, yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah, you successfully kill it. Dan, we'll have you roll your roll against the delve.
All right. I
So
don't
you
have
get
any
the killing
equipment.
bowl. 3. Okay. Alrighty. So after that, the rest of your time through this dunes are pretty uneventful. The sand gets more and more sparse. You hear less and less of those crystals falling. The ceiling gets farther away from the floor. And the stone starts getting kind of softer. The air changes, starts feeling a little bit more humid. And then you start seeing like little patches of greenery here and there, like some moss growing, a few tiny spores of mushrooms here and there. And there's still like lots of large jutting rocks from here and there. And after you kind of squeeze through one pass of these jutting rocks, you find yourself next to a large forest of mostly mushrooms. Instead of trees, there's just these giant stalks of these red cap mushrooms. There's lots of other plants and vegetation mixed in with it. You hear all sorts of kind of animal and insect life from it there too. You hear the occasional like crow of a bird, and then you'll hear like some things seem to be like skittering around branches of the things, and you hear like some of the leaves rustle here and there, and then lots of chirping of insects as well. You find yourself outside the red cap forest.
Here we are. Ah,
We did it.
are there any flowers in the area?
There are, yes.
Oh, I'm sending my bees out to go pollinate.
Okay. So, and you do find a bunch as you guys are walking through. And I'll say, Jake, one thing you notice too, especially because you're searching for flowers, it doesn't take very long before you notice that there's like a few dead spots in the forest here and there where like all the plant lines kind of shriveled and browned and grayed. And in the center of all these dead spots, there always seems to be flowers that kind of resemble the ones that you saw when you were in Ravnus, of this like strange, like vine wooden type of thing with these amber red flowers on them. You'll see them sprouting just slightly. Some of those flowers too are also slightly wilted, but they've still got their color, and everything around it's dead.
I just see those patches, those spots.
Yeah, you're finding them here and there. It's pretty sparse at first, but the longer you're going in, you're starting to see those more and more.
Excellent. Those dead spots, the more common they get, I assume the closer we're getting to the person who can counteract the curse that killed Clayton. But if we can find some sort of locale, maybe they could point us in the right direction.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Update people's things here. April, you're able to pick up your beat for the combat that we were just in.
Oh, perfect.
Then Tyler got his beat of dying. Chuck, you got your risky action. Okay. Yeah, you guys continue on through. And from the directions that you've heard, you know that you seem to be getting pretty close to the grove. It should be, any minute here. And you hear the sounds of struggle. Like you hear someone kind of calling out, and you hear like beast sounds of, it sound to be like squeals of boar. You seem very agitated. And as you round one of these, the height's kind of uneven the whole time here, and you're seeing like lots of just there's lots of this like broken rubble here and there of what looks to be ancient structures that are kind of being overgrown with all these vegetation and mushroom stalks. And as you round one of those bits of rubble, you see a druid man holding a scythe. He's got a pack on his back that he looks like he's been harvesting a lot of the plants in the area. They're all kind of like bundled up on his back. His arms kind of hanging limp at his side, and it seems to be covered in blood. And you see a few other dead druids next to him. And he is surrounded by 4 small boars and 1 large boar. They seem to be kind of like cornering him, but he's dancing through some of the stalks, and they're getting kind of tripped up in the brush. The other thing that you notice too is these boar seem to be corrupted in a way. They've got plants growing out of them. They've got like little fungal sprouts popping out of their ears, and one of them's got like their eyes kind of missing. You see more of this kind of like wood branchy stuff coming out of some of them too. And a few of those red flowers here and there just protruding from their skin randomly.
I've seen this before. It's last of pork. I charge in.
All right. Okay.
You all can come too, I guess.
I'm probably gonna just shoot from here. That's all right.
I'll follow Xurl in, kicking on the steam.
Come on, Genevieve. We've got pigs to fight.
Genevieve is actually going to use her Mark of Shadow to become hard to notice.
Where'd she go?
Well played.
Every time.
Slowly sneak up on them, see if we can flank them.
Okay. Yeah, they don't seem to have noticed you guys yet.
I'm just gonna shoot from back here, guys. Y'all have
They all
fun.
seem to be pretty focused and frenzied. A few of them are like kind of messing with and like trying to eat through the corpses of some of the dead druids. So there's 2 that are occupied with that, but the
They're
other
eating
2
our
smaller
meat.
boars are trying to get through, and they're getting kind of like stuck in some of the brushes. And the large boar is trying to smash into a mushroom stalk that's right next to this druid guy.
Does it look like Druid guy is like squaring off against them, or?
It looks like he's being kind of evasive. He's like swinging his scythe at them to try and get them to bounce back. He doesn't seem to be making any progress in the fight, and he looks pretty beat up.
Okay.
But it looks like he's just barely holding out against them.
Maybe we'll shoot the big one first.
All right. Yeah, if you're shooting the big one, you can roll that kill test. And this,
What's
the domain here is wild.
Do not have that either.
So it'll be a
Success,
kill
but at a
contest.
cost. Oh.
I will
Oh, no.
have that.
All right.
And the stress die is a D8 still?
It is a D8. Unless is your Steam still going, or is that like a one
Yeah.
per?
Yep.
Okay.
It pretty much, I can activate it at will. So, but it only
Okay.
applies to those that are within arm's reach of me, I believe.
I assume in this case that won't be me, but
Yeah.
I only got one, so I'll keep one.
I'd say that you guys are like grouped up for right now, because no one, like, you're all, the only person that said they like ran in so far is Xurl.
0.
And then I guess Genevieve, you're sneaking off to the side.
Mhm.
So John, Jake, and Daniel, you guys are all 3 kind of grouped up for right now.
What flavor of stress will this be? I'm shooting at Big Pig.
Salt and vinegar.
This is supply stress.
Okay. I have exactly 1 protection of supply stress, so
Okay, that works.
let me
Pineapple
see
and Ando chili.
how the shooting do. Not so good. Let's try that again. Good and
Oof.
bad.
There you go.
I do max damage, but now I also have to take stress.
Yep. So you'll roll. I think you said it's like a D6 supply stress that you have to take on that, or
Like a
is it either like a
D6.
D4 or D6.
D6 supply stress. So
Okay.
let's see how that goes. 3.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to mark it to fortune so I can do a thing, maybe.
Okay.
Let me double check what that is. I roll the fallout. Major fallout. Oh, God.
Fuck.
And the fortune ones are always fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Excited to see this.
Major fortune fallout. Okay. And does that trigger your class ability where you get like a perk from it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. There's that at least.
When you suffer a fortune fallout, roll with mastery for the remainder of the situation.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
was hoping to not get a major fallout, but
All right. Yeah. We haven't done any major fallouts yet, so this
I don't
is
know
fun.
how it went straight to major, but oh well.
It's based on what the number is on the die when you fail.
That's right. I forgot
So,
about that.
because like if you roll low on the die, because it's if you roll under your stress, then you get a fallout, and if the number that you rolled was low, then it's a minor. But if the number that you rolled was high, then it's a major.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
You were
exiled.
Oh my gosh.
I think I know what that one is. It's like one landmark somewhere hates you, right?
Hang on.
Haven.
I'm
Basically.
banned from entering the haven I'm currently in or one nearby.
Well, all right.
What did you do?
Well, there are.
Oh, and then the
nearby.
text just got erased for some reason.
Something happened. Yeah, I was looking at that too, and it just went away.
I don't know why I did that.
Oh, I know.
So I imagine it's at your discretion to decide which haven I can't go in now, which is weird because I have a perk that's like you can get into anywhere.
Okay. How is that perk worded? Because it might counteract it a little bit.
Let's see. Custodian, you and those who wore the badge before you have spent so much time rebuilding shattered lives and shattered homes that everyone welcomes you. If you're in a populated location, you can always find someone willing to take you in and give you somewhere to sleep and maybe even some food.
Okay. Probably how we'll rule that is the area as a whole doesn't like you, so you kind of have to lay low, but like you'll find individuals that don't care about that. Okay. So
I can hide on the outskirts of the place or something like that while everybody else goes and has fun.
Exactly.
So Groucho Marx glasses and you're
we'll roll it as like once you secure a location inside the hut, you'll be able to get like smuggled into it.
Yeah, and it only really matters for the one place I'm exiled from.
Okay,
right.
I fixed the text.
For now.
And okay. And I know where that is.
You'll just keep getting that same one, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be welcome nowhere.
I'm going to become exiled from everywhere eventually.
If anyone can do it, you can do it.
Jeez, this guy. Right. Get him out of here.
Yeah. So, but you did end up doing 8 stress to the big one. And you said it's piercing?
Yes.
Okay. That's good because it's got some resistance. So that 8 punches through. It looks like it's got pretty thick hide on the larger boar, but your bullet's able to carve straight through. You hit like a pretty vital spot. It's still up, but it looks really hurt. All right, and then so there's still the 2 distracted smaller boars and the 2 that are on the druid guy. All 3 of them are still kind of like on the druid guy, because the stress that you took was like at your own expense. It wasn't really from it. So I'll say, whoever wants to do something next, they are not focusing on you yet.
I'm going to lie down and cast intrusion on one of the ones snacking on the bodies.
Okay. What does that do?
I gained the wild domain, and I learned the following spell. Send your swarm to occupy and control the body of a wild animal that you can see with a successful compel plus wild roll. I can now direct the animal to perform basic tasks.
Continue eating people.
Yeah.
Is there a particular difficulty for this?
It is still at standard.
Okay.
I used a complication to up the resistance of this fight, but not to up the difficulty.
Gotcha.
Success.
Excellent.
All right. And do you do this with the bees, I'm assuming? Just like the bees take over the...
Yes. And while the bees are doing this, I am just slumped to the ground unconscious.
Okay. Yeah, and there's plenty of like shrubbery and stuff, so I imagine you kind of like duck behind a bush. You slump over.
I mean, just falls over right next to me in the middle of everything. Just
oh, that too, yeah.
Normal for him.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, thanks for the raid.
Spat out a bunch of bees and slumped over.
But yeah, your bees fly out as most of your mental processing power is now outside of your body, and they make their way over
all full of bees.
Yeah,
no more.
They make their way over to one of these boars. They start like burrowing their way into its flesh, and a few of them like fly up the nostrils and the ear, and or kind of like twitches at that, and you have control over it.
Cool. I'm gonna, or can I command it to do a basic action at this point, or is that next turn?
Well, there's not really a turn order, so you could do one right now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just command it to stand in front of the druid, like sideways.
Okay.
To act as kind of like a boar ear.
Oh my God.
Everyone takes
Alright.
echo damage.
And that's good. So, because one of the things, I was going to throw some of the stress of your guys' failures at this guy. So now he will have protection.
Sadly enough, I missed what Jake said.
It was terrible.
know.
Be glad you missed it.
You'll
That's why I'm
have
so
to watch the
disappointed.
VOD, Dan.
Oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed.
He's using
type it
the
in
boar
the
as a
chat.
shield. So he said it's a boar ear.
Oh, nice, but bad.
But yeah, I'll keep track of that guy's protection now. So now you've got this like kind of this mindless boar that's running interference against the other ones. The guy looks really confused because he heard the first shot ring out, so he like kind of knows that there's people here, and he sees the one run up to him, but then it turns around and it's just kind of like spazzing and doesn't question it too much, and his eyes are just wide and he's looking at the rest of you. He's like, "Help me, please!" And he's still swinging.
Yeah.
Let's go next.
After that terrible pun, the other boar that's charging after him, I am just going to pull my goddamn cleaver out and get me a pork chop.
All right. Are you going after the bigger one or one of the smaller ones?
The bigger one. Of course.
Okay. I figured.
Go big or don't, I guess.
All right.
You know what? Kill. This is wild. I am going to use one of our things. Our boons. To give me mastery on this.
Okay.
Get out of here. Document. Success.
Nice.
All right. Roll your damage.
All right, and my cleaver. D6 brutal tiring.
Okay.
That's 6.
What does tiring do?
If I fail with an attack with this weapon, its stress die is reduced by 1 for the rest of the 1 step for the rest of the situation.
Okay, so it'd be a D4 for the rest of combat.
If I would have failed.
If you would have failed. Yeah. Okay. And then do you have... it doesn't have piercing, right?
It does not, no.
Okay. Although with a 6, it doesn't matter. Because that outdoes its protection and the rest of its health. So how do you...
Maj Nix, thank you for that follow. It's very nice of you.
Ooh.
Yeah, thank you. Where's your killing cleaver blow land on this large boar?
In the face.
All right.
They don't call me Xurl the Face Fister for nothing.
So it spins around because it was shot by Dan here, and as it's looking at you, you just run in, and smash it right between the eyes, and split its skull open with your cleaver. Your fist goes into it a little bit.
Yes.
You're able to pull it out.
You found dinner.
And it slumps over dead.
Also, I'm going to just real quick reach in and grab a handful of boar mushroom brains and take a bite.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's a curious pause.
It was a very concerning pause.
The silence
said
is so loud.
Endure cursed.
Yeah, do that. Do that at risky.
Do it at impossible.
Do it at plants becoming true.
You specifically said the mushroom part of it.
That's a failure.
Oh.
Well, good thing you're on a quest to, find
Right?
lady that
It's
deals with
fine.
curses.
It's fine.
So
Fine.
I'll just
You don't
find
notice
Pedro
any immediate
Pascal and he'll
effect.
save me.
yeah, you don't notice any immediate effect. It kind of tastes a little weird as you ingest it into your body.
Shit
yeah.
talkie.
You gain the wild domain though.
Yes, I do.
So,
And all you hear now is Inagata Davida.
In the garden of Eden.
Sir Galvan would like to run up and steam still going, and he will yell at the druid, "Get behind me!" And I will remove a D4 blood stress from him.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I'll get back 2.
Okay. You do so.
And I'm just kind of like trying to intercept attacks.
Is this adding 2 protection to him, or is it healing 2 blood stress from him?
It heals 2 blood stress, and then just because I'm within arm's reach of him, I can give him +1.
Yeah, and he would consider you an ally, so you get that +1. Okay, great. Yeah, so I'll interpret that as like he just kind of is able to catch his breath a little bit, so he's able to, get back in it. So he thanks you.
He's kind of like honey back in him now. We put a little eucalyptus in there as well. He's a fucking walking halls. Yeah.
He's a cough drop.
These are cherry ones, but I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, you're able to do so. Genevieve, were you doing something from your stealth?
Yes, since she was blinking, I think she would like to take a shot with her blunderbuss at the big boy.
Big boy's dead.
Big boy's dead.
Big boy's dead.
I killed him and ate his brain.
He just did the killing blow on that one, but there is still 2 that are actively on John and the druid, and then one is being piloted by bees, and the other one is just now kind of noticing that there's a commotion going on, so it's peeling off of the body.
So I will go after
the rest are smaller.
All right, one of the smaller ones, and that would be a kill wild, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That is a success.
All right, and then roll the damage of your weapon.
That would be a 3.
Awesome. And does it have any other tags on it, like piercing or anything?
No, it's just a spread point blank, 1 shot.
Okay. Spread?
Yes.
Okay. I'll say that you're able to hit the 2 that are like right next to each other on. Because those 2 are like pretty close. So you'll deal 3 stress to each of those.
Haha. Perfect.
Nice.
Okay. They seem to shrug off a tiny bit of that damage, but it does hurt them. Like their coat is pretty like bristly and thick and seems to be slightly resistant to the damage they're taking. Who wants to go next?
Since I went to the trouble of getting mastery, I would like to shoot again.
Yeah, for sure.
Fair.
There's
let's
the 3 smaller ones.
Let's shoot
plus
the one
being piloted.
Yeah, let's not shoot the one with the bees in it. Regular success.
All right.
Let's hope I can. Oh.
Because you took that stress or the fallout last time, all of your fortune stress is cleared.
Yep.
Get to roll your d6 again. Actually, I think, isn't it when you take major, all of your stress is cleared?
All stress goes away.
Yeah, which is nice because I got rid of all of my blood stress too. But I wonder if I can. I think I have to take the highest damage with brutal.
What are we doing?
Does it just say that you get to roll twice, or does it say
and pick the highest? So you have to take the highest. So
you probably do have to take the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no point in rolling again. Gosh darn it.
Unfortunate. 5 supply stress.
Yeah. And just because I like it, let's put it on fortune.
Woo. All right.
How unfortunate.
No fallout. Okay. All right.
Even with that pun coming in at the end there.
But you kill us, and
saying it.
it's This is piercing too. So
Yes.
one of the two that was damaged, you kill it. Just outright. You brain it and it slumps over. All right. So there's just the two up mainly. Who wants to go after the remaining two?
I can chop.
Yep.
Chop, chop.
Okay.
Chop, chop.
Kill wild.
I can do that now.
Success at a
Success
cost.
at a cost.
Okay. Roll your stress. D8 for the delve.
5.
5 stress. And this is blood as you're running in. And it just takes a bite at you.
And then I gotta roll fallout. Minor fallout.
Okay.
I do like that it's all
Minor
automated
blood
and that
fallout?
shit. Minor blood fallout.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really like the this module. I wish there was more support for like the fallout rather than having to manually make the tables, but other than that.
Oh.
So you got battered.
My dominant hand is injured. I can bandage it up and stop the bleeding, but it's of limited use for the time being. Any offensive actions I make in combat become risky. Any tasks that require fine dexterity are out of the question, and this is ongoing. Listen,
Ouch.
it's fine. I don't do anything with fine dexterity. I do everything with bravado and a
Brute
lack
force.
of common
Punch.
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it's just one of its tusks like cuts into the top of your hand as you swipe across with the cleaver and messes up your hand pretty good. But you do deal a d6 of damage against it
And it's
with
brutal.
the cleaver. Yep. 4 stress. All right. And was this against? I'm assuming this is against the one that was already damaged a little bit.
Yes.
Alrighty. One of them is still totally undamaged, and it is kind of like running into the main thick of the fight.
That dick.
Who's going next?
I'm gonna let it get close, and I'm gonna bash it with my shield, the
All right.
undamaged one.
Yeah.
Kill and wild in standard difficulty.
Uh huh.
Oh,
Ooh. Failure. Okay.
Failure.
Yep. Roll that stress. It's a D8.
D6 with my steam going, right?
D6 with the steam going. Correct.
All right.
I forgot about that. That probably should have been a D6 against Chuck as well, but
It's fine.
I forgot.
All right. I take a point of blood stress.
Okay. Roll your fallout on that.
Yep.
Probably nothing.
No fallout. We're good.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, you go to swipe and it kind of goes underneath your shield and
Yep.
takes a chomp at your legs. Alrighty. Who goes next? Genevieve?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Genevieve would like to take another shot, probably
Okay.
at the one that is undamaged at this point.
Sure. Have at him. And I will say, because he ran back in, the spread is still going to be in effect if you hit, but with failure, unfortunately not.
Fortunately not.
Okay. Failure.
That would be...
So, roll that stress. 6 stress.
Whoops.
So this stress doesn't apply to you. It applies to the druid who is in the way.
You shot him.
At least
That's
I
the
gave
wrong
him
one.
one pip of blood protection.
Oh no,
That's
he
right,
was
you do
screaming.
have
They're
one.
screaming.
And he is in my Steam cloud, so that'd reduce it to that type.
And there's a boar in the way.
That's true.
Everybody takes
So basically,
damage.
she shot the boar controlled by B.
She shot everyone but the
That's true.
All these little
I told you I don't
Uh,
like those bees.
zipped in
So
like the Flash and
The
just
boar
kinda
is going to take 2 of that damage.
redirected each pellet.
Right.
like a prism. They
Like that
That's
Pink
good.
Floyd
If you guys
thing
hadn't
that
protected him
everyone's
at
mad
all,
about.
then he would have been
Oh
dead
my
from that
gosh.
6.
the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
It is.
Okay, so that boar is going to take some. And then just like a splattering of some of that shrapnel from your blunderbuss shot. It's going to hit the druid. He's going to take a little bit. It kind of hits him like center mass, but not lethally. Hey. And we'll roll that. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll always
shit.
shoot more if anybody wants.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh dang!
Steven.
I'll see if I can get.
No,
some
no,
another
don't you
call-out.
dare. Don't you dare put those grippers away.
That's 1,000 bits. Steven, it's buy one, get one.
Excessive cost. Okay.
Thanks, Steven.
5.
5.
How do you want
Okay.
that to pan out?
Oh shit! God damn it! I was just
Which
thinking,
one were you shooting
I'm
at?
so glad that
Just
Ashley's not
one of
watching right
the other
now.
pigs.
No,
Okay.
she is.
Were you shooting at the most damaged one or
Probably the least.
the one that's least damaged?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're gonna hit that one. It is still up. It's piercing, so it does a good amount of damage. And that one's gonna peel off and charge at you and chomp into you.
So it'll be.
Or actually, that D5 stress was against
that's
you.
to me.
That's
Yeah.
your stress. So yeah, you need to roll your damage. Then. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
So-
sure how you wanted me to apply the stress.
Yeah, so it'll be blood as that boar peels off to charge at your legs. Nibble
Am I
at you.
close enough to get John's protection?
Yeah. You are. It's been going for a little bit too, so it's kind of spread out. So,
Dun, 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 dun. 7 damage.
okay. And I guess roll a D6 instead of that D8.
Okay, let's do that. Oh, good.
Okay.
I like that even better. I
So
take
yeah,
most-
that's how much stress you would have been taking in that. So, and we'll say that it like tries to peel off, but John
Just
like
keep it on the
interjects
way.
it away and like kind of keeps it corralled with the shield, so it's not
Yep.
able to hit you. So we'll say they're still grouped up. And you did 7 damage.
I did.
All right, they are both looking pretty rough, but they're still both up. John,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I'll bash away at the one that I tried to get last time.
Okay.
In my head, I'm just like, Sir Galvin is just moving all over the place. Not necessarily inflicting a lot of damage, but he's all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, you do a hit. We'll say that this is probably against the one that you like went to block with your
Yeah.
hit. So
Yeah.
we'll say this like simultaneously as you just bonk it.
Nice.
That kills it. So it peels off and you just smash its head in with the bottom of your shield into the ground. And it's not able to run after Dan. Jake, is there anything you're doing with so there's one boar alive, you're still piloting the one.
That's the only one left?
There's one that's not under your control. So there's the one that you're piloting, and then there's one that's at about half health.
The half health one, where does it seem to be aggressing?
Yes.
Who is it
it's-
aggressing against?
Oh, okay. It's going against both your boar and John. It seems like it's still kind of trying to get to the druid through the two of you.
Okay, in
it's
that case,
mainly
I'll just
on you guys.
I'll have my boar stand there and drool honey.
Okay. Sure. We'll do that. If we don't want to do a particular roll or action, I'll say that you continue your effect.
Yeah.
If you want to make a check on it, though, we'll say like you can do something additional, but up to you.
Nah.
That's fine.
Protect the druid.
Chuck.
It's time
anything you
for
wanna
a
do?
rump roast. I charge in with my cleaver, and I chop that damn pig's ass right off.
All right. Roll your kill wild.
Critical success.
Oof.
Critical success.
Fuck
Okay.
yeah. All
Roll
right.
damage and double it. It's brutal, right?
It is.
Oh,
12.
12.
Gosh.
Oof.
12
All right.
damage.
Pulling some sausages out of that butt.
Right.
So
Some bacon.
this one had 5 health left. You deal 12. So you just split it down the middle of its back and it just pops open.
Nice. Yes.
Killing that. So now the only one that's live is Jake's bee boar.
I'm gonna pet
In that case, I will end my intrusion spell, and the animal I controlled dies.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Now
Okay.
it falls over dead suddenly.
so you see it
just
start to
bloody
like
oozing out of
shudder
it.
and kind of as the bees are making its way back out of its brain, it's kind of causing all sorts of random muscle spasms and things, and it
Do a barrel
violently
roll.
and viscerally, painfully
Close.
dies. And lots of bees with a slight reddish tint come back out and rejoin Jake. As he
Are
stands
these
back
those
up.
vulture bees
No.
that I just heard about?
No. No.
That's great.
Got Kit Kat.
Yeah, she means.
All right.
Well, there, Mr. Mushroom Farmer. I'm glad we were able to rescue you from that peril.
Thank you. I wouldn't have lasted much longer if you guys wouldn't have come along. And he kind of looks around and you see he was kind of like out of it from adrenaline, and he's just now having it sink in that his friends died, and he seems to be kind of sombered up by that. He's like, I knew we ventured too out. Like we were having a hard time finding the crops today and went farther than normal. But we weren't expecting to find all these animals, especially this many. Like we've been seeing one or two here and there that's kind of frenzied like these, taking over, but not this many in a group before. But thank you again. And
So do you have any
some-
flowers that I could perhaps borrow from you, sir?
And he kind of like is shy about that. He's like, well, he points to the crop that his dead friends on the ground like had on their backs. He's like, they had a few, I suppose.
Well, I'll
Are
immediately
you needing them?
I'm gunning for the flowers and collecting them and just huffing them as hard as I can.
Okay. Where are you guys going?
We're meeting a witch named Emrys.
And he seems very confused by it. It's like, Emrys? How do you know Emrys?
There's a person who hands out curses that turns people to amber, and as I understand it, Emrys is somebody who can counteract the amber curse with vine curse.
When you mentioned that, he's like, oh, actually, I don't know if I know anyone by the name Emrys.
But you were just asking how we knew her. So
It's like, was there anything else that you guys needed? He seems to be.
I could sting you repeatedly with
detached now.
bees. It would be It would be very helpful, actually.
And he looks at the corpse of the boar that just exploded in bees, and he's like, I don't know if I believe you on that one.
Understand.
He's making the bee jokes already.
Bees are no joke, but anyway.
He says he doesn't believe you.
Oh, God.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, he seems to be like pretty distant, specifically because you mentioned the curse stuff, and he's like, I mean, I suppose you could go to the Grove, or if you had any business with the pharmacy, they're here as well. But I don't
yes,
know
the Red Cap Grove. If you could point us in that direction, we'll be off, and then further on onto our adventure.
And, just, it's just kind of straight in this direction here, and then he kind of looks around for a little bit, and he points out to you these markings. He like lifts up part of like a leaf on one of these mushroom stalks, and you see there's like these kind of strange etched markings on the side of one of them, and he basically teaches you how to read these things that are like they leave all over the course of the Red Cat Grove, and we'll count that as a connection here. So he's like, this is a quick way to navigate back so you don't get lost. It's kind of hard to tell your direction around here, especially as you have to weave around a lot of the structures. But if you follow these, it'll bring you back there pretty much right away. It shouldn't be more than an hour or two from here.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Need a hand with your bodies of your companions?
Oh, no, I'll do the rites and things. As you guys notice too, as you're looking through the carnage of this fight, there's no blood on the ground. It's been a pretty bloody fight. Pretty, like, things are split open. He's bleeding from his arm, and it's like dripping, but there's nothing on the ground.
I shot a lot of holes in things, so.
Yeah, and things were brained. There's still like gore and viscera on the ground, but no blood.
Not even his
it's
blood
on the bodies, not on the blood on the ground. You see no blood on the ground.
Like if his blood drips on the ground, and we just like.
And if you noticing that, and you see that he's still like kind of bleeding from his arm a little bit, as you watch a few drops like bead up and hit the ground, they seem to get absorbed by the ground as they fall onto it.
That normal? Anybody know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no idea.
So what exactly is the deal with the fungus growing on the boars?
Oh, this is this is called it's a rather new thing to the area. We've been trying to keep it at bay, and there's these weird plants that keep sprouting up, and when any of the animals eat them, it takes over their body. It infests them from within, starts sprouting out of them.
Sir Galvin looks over at Xurl.
Well, what did I do? I wasn't paying attention.
Nothing.
Where'd
Good.
the blood all go?
You just happened to eat some of it. That's fine.
What?
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Probably.
You did.
Listen,
Maybe he needs.
You
Maybe it needs a
specifically said that you ate like the mushroomy part of it.
I did. I did.
So,
Yeah.
Maybe he just needs a little glass bead in him.
Well, no. That's
Maybe.
the wrong direction.
He just needed some protein. It's fine.
Some
Maybe.
protein.
A little
But,
dressing.
it's like, yeah, there's been all these things. We're trying to keep them at bay. We usually burn them when we find them, but they've been sprouting up more and more. We don't really know what it is, but it's been here the last few months, I believe. It's kind of hard to tell. We call it the ember rot.
Ooh.
Doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. Stares harder at Xurl.
Oh my gosh.
Let me Let me roll a test to see if this guy remembers that Chuck did that.
Wait, was I not supposed to eat those?
Do you just say that?
Yes.
He like his eyes widened. He's like, "Eat what? What did you eat?
Oh, I ate some brain.
Did it have not brain in it?"
Oh, yeah. It was all in that thing.
And he sighs, and you see him like thinking things. He's kind of like muttering himself, not audibly, but he raise it over, and he's like, I guess you can see Emrys. But don't tell her I sent you or anyone else. She's really the only one that knows anything about this stuff, but a lot of people aren't happy that she's the only one that knows anything about it. There's kind of a lot of weirdness there, but she might be able to help. And he says, like, very pained. He's like, sure, let's go back. I'll point out where she is, and we'll see if there's anything she could do for you. Good news. It seems to take longer the more sentient you are.
Oh well, that might not help us a whole lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not gonna be long now.
I'm very sentient. I know many things.
Uh-huh.
How was that side of the table when we were at the bar?
That was fully intentional. When you say it like that, it sounds so bad.
It seems to take over like any of the he says like any of the insects that seem to eat those plants like immediately are taken over, and smaller creatures maybe a few hours to a day. People are usually good for good 2 to 3 days. I've seen someone last as long as a week, but
we'll give them like somewhere in the middle of 4 hours.
Yeah, we should make it back. And he's follow me, and
I'll take a cut of one of the dead druid's clothing, and then I'll wrap up a pig mushroom in it, just to take it for the road.
I figured out that you can actually figured it out, and I've been distracted doing it. You can put feet stickers on the stream now.
Oh my gosh, that's an idea.
And you can see them. They're there, right there.
They're right there. I don't think YouTube will get to. Will YouTube get to see them? Yes.
If you're taking your stream from Twitch, yes. If you're saving it from OBS, no. Maybe, probably. Actually, it might.
OBS and it was there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, if it's being done through OBS, yes. If it's being done through Twitch, probably not. This is frightening.
It is.
How do we make the
you guys follow? He introduces himself as. I gave him a name.
Stream's gonna be nothing but feet.
He introduces his name as Rama, and
oh no,
he asks you to follow him back. Oh no.
The feet were just too much.
Jake had to leave because of the feet.
Zoom just shut itself off.
There's a shift change in the bees that are piloting him. So
yeah,
we're doing this for your protection.
He bee screamed, but
he bee screamed.
So you guys follow, you follow Rama back. He quickly guides you through the forest, pretty uneventfully. He stops you guys a few times as he hears things that. He like picks up on some sounds that none of the rest of you seem to really notice, and as you halt. And then also as he's coming across any of these dead patches of these flowers, he stops and he marks the trees in not in a way that he told you how to read. It seems to be like a separate marking. And then he goes and he digs like deep into the soil around it, and then puts it in a different pouch that he's carrying and takes the flower back with him. And you make it into the grove. You start seeing like there's kind of more light peeling through the trees as it seems like they're thinning out. And you start smelling like smoke at first, but then you smell more pleasant, like incense almost type smells. And you smell some food cooking, and you come into the Red Cat Grove. So it's a big clearing in this forest, and there's like a few kind of manicured stalks of these giant mushroom trees here and there, but all the vegetation's cut back pretty nicely. You see lots of like tents and small huts kind of just randomly strewn about. There seems to be kind of a large collection of more permanent buildings that are built around some of the like stone ruins that you've been seeing here and there. And just plenty of druids here and there walking around as well. It seems like a lot of the smoke is coming. There's a small bonfire on the edge of the clearing. And you see people, more druids, but they've got this kind of weird, almost like plague doctor-y mask on. And you see them going around like they've got handfuls of these weird looking flowers that you've been seeing, and they're throwing them into this bonfire, and you see them go back out and they're just collecting them. There's one side of the clearing of this grove that's just completely dead, like in a line as far as you can see, that seems to be overrun by these flowers. And they're working their best to cut that back. Rama points you over to where those more permanent buildings in the ruins are. He says, well, I'm sure you'll find Emrys here. She should be able to help your friend.
Yes.
And you make your way over. And before you guys like make it into the town, like right as you make it close enough that you can kind of discern all the different buildings, he points out, he's like, that's the building that she's in. Don't tell anyone I told you where she is or who she is or anything like that. You never met me. But I will say I was saved by some rather kind adventurers here after you leave town.
Sure you don't want any friendly bee stings?
I don't know how you determine what's a friendly bee sting or not. I've got my own methods to deal with this, but I appreciate it.
I could actually demonstrate for you if you care. Genevieve, could you hand me your arm real quick?
I think I'm okay, but
It's
I'm good.
As Genevieve explodes from bees.
yeah, right. She just
For all the bee healing you got earlier. No.
large side steps away from him.
Yeah, everyone's a critic.
As you approach the town too, you guys are stopped. And you see there's kind of, all the druids seem to be wearing like different types of outfits that determine like what roles they're doing. Like the plague doctor ones seem to be cutting back the flowers and vines and things that are growing into the town. And he was wearing like, Rama was wearing a different garb that looks to be like what the gatherers out in the forest wear. But you see this guy that's wearing kind of like this wooden and leather armor that's got all sorts of these intricate beads and things woven into it. And he stops a lot of you as you're walking up to the town. And he points at Dan. It's like, you're not allowed back here.
I was hoping you guys would forget.
Like, not after last time. I knew you meant well, but a lot of people died. People haven't forgotten.
People forget eventually, maybe? No?
Often they do
No.
not.
No. Like, I'm sorry, you'll have to stay out. And he singles you out, Dan. Is not letting you continue in with the rest
You
of the
guys
party.
suck.
Anything you need from in there?
So, does that, can we go in?
He looks at a lot of you and he's like, I suppose. Just don't stay too long. Don't want your friend causing any more trouble the longer he's here.
That's
It
all right.
wasn't my fault, probably.
I'm not a manslaughterer. I'm an engineer. So everything is just fine.
Yes.
Yes. let's go see this person.
Amorous.
All right. You are pointed to. There's like a few of these buildings seem to be set up as shops, or like kind of like meeting halls. One of them seems to be like a mess hall restaurant type deal. But the house you were pointed to looks to be like a small house that's set up as also like an apothecary shop. And you see a older elven woman outside. There's a tanning rack, and she's got a hide that she's like finishing up on. As you approach, you see she's wearing all sorts of weird trinkets and things that have been woven in. She's got like really long gray dreadlocks. There's all sorts of these like small wooden charms and beads with all these weird symbols on them. Ones that kind of resemble the carving patterns that you saw that they were putting into the trees. She's got her back to you guys.
Hi?
And she looks at the lot of you. She seems confused. Are you looking for someone? Looking for something?
I was looking for Emrys. I was sent here by a person who had flowers growing out of his hands.
Oh, and as you say that, she quickly like looks around like, let's talk inside. And
Yes,
she
yes.
ushers you all in.
I go in.
All right. She brings you all inside her house. She quickly closes the door. She looks out again. She said, like, a man with flowers growing out of his hands? Did he give you a name? Where did you meet him?
I met him at what was the name of that place? The place
Ravenous.
with the vigilance.
Ravenous?
Yes,
Yeah,
Ravenous. Yeah, I met him in Ravenous.
Ravenous. Oh, and she like grabs your hand and feels it, and kind of looks you over. She's like, "How long ago did you receive the bead?"
Well, I would have received it about a week ago, maybe. Except I kind of convinced a friend of mine to receive it instead, accidentally, and now he's dead.
Oh. Okay.
Though I have been told that I could get another one.
Yeah, that must be why I was sent another one. They didn't really say why. They're pretty hard to make. I'm one of the few people that's helped them develop it. But I don't even have the facilities here to manufacture them. Have you ingested the other? Did he give you one of the seeds? Have you eaten any of the flowers? Been exposed
No,
to any of the
he's-
rot?
No, I believe he said you had control of that aspect of it.
I have a few here, though I'm not really supposed to. I'm studying the rot, and because I'm the only one that's... I'm interested if it has any underlying usefulness, I guess you could say. Although the rest of us are quite afraid of it and just kind of burn it on sight. But I don't know where it came from. I'd like to find a better remedy of it. And most people that get infected by it that are of higher mental faculties, well, I'll say, seem to get all sorts of visions and things, and I'd like to see why that is.
I'd be happy to send you writings of my experiences with it as I journey along. So long as you give me the thing that counteracts the turning into a tree part of it.
Right, I have one. And she pulls from her pocket like a small, it's like, you see like a paper folded up like cube ball, and it has a small bundle of twine. She's like, all right, and you haven't already ingested any of the plant?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, Xurl
That's
ingested one. He ingested one of these, and I'll hold out the ember rot mushroom cap I took.
Oh, that is. When did he eat that?
A couple of hours ago.
Oh, has it been that long?
It's been about like probably an hour.
Yeah, like an hour.
Oh. I don't have another bead. We wouldn't be able to get another one for some time. And she's like, let me think this over for a little bit.
Can we do half C's? Would that work?
Wait, what do we need to eat?
You're supposed to have it, and she points to you, Jake, because we are very curious to what one of your kind will experience under its effects. Me and a few others of our growing devotion to studying this. However, we have also been trying to find other ways to remove the effect, not just to ease it. This bead is supposed to stall the effects so that you don't fully get consumed by the rot. But if your friend's only eaten it about an hour ago, you may be a good candidate for us to try some of our experimental methods of removing it.
Oh, I like that. Let's do it.
She seems like pretty excited by this now.
Does she just grab like a giant like rubber hand with an elongated finger to just poke him in the throat? Like, is that...
He's like, well, he will need some examining. We'll wait for your, because you haven't had it yet. I want to be fully devoted to watching the effects of yours. We should deal with your friend first.
Okay, yes, that makes sense, yes.
And...
Oh, as for this, is there something I should do with it? The mushroom?
Mushroom. So did you get one of like the mushroom plant stalks, or did you get one of the like rotted plants?
Oh, I just got one from one of the boars.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She says, that would work if you want to eat it. We find it easier to eat just the seeds. It's when it's more grown out that way. It's much more repulsive, harder to palate it. But you still could. Although it is also kind of dangerous to carry that around if it were to get out of your hands and land somewhere. It'd be pretty damaging to wherever it goes. So.
I'll take good care of it, and I'll wrap it up and stick it in my supplies.
Okay. And then she turns to you, Chuck. She's like, all right. So we have a few methods. And some more invasive than others. So I guess we'll leave it up to you to pick. Would you like to eat something, drink something, or surgery?
Well, my mother never told me to half-ass anything. She says full-ass everything, so surgery it is.
Okay.
And I'll eat and drink stuff, too. Can we do it all at once?
We could do the surgery first and then eat or drink something. I would not want to mix the drink and the pills. That's probably fatal. But the surgery, because it's not just doing anything, you're not ingesting anything, you should be okay. But yeah, surgery. Come over here. And she opens up a hatch in the bottom of there's like a back corner. It has there's like a stool on it and like a small table kind of pushed over there.
How naked do you need me for this?
No, it's just your stomach that we'll be cutting into.
Down to the socks, then.
As you...
Are they your business socks?
Are there any other kind?
They're the hospital socks with the little sticky pads on
the
the bottom.
grippy socks.
How can they be business time?
Are they toe socks?
Toe socks.
Do you have
Yeah.
the garters that clip them to your shirt under your pants?
Mm-hmm.
Under.
So she ushers you downstairs, though.
Over.
You see that there is a table. It looks like it used to be like a dinner table, but 2 of the legs have been sawed off, so it's just laying out aside. And it's got these restraints kind of bolted in. Not quite symmetrically, but they tried. It's this like rather makeshift like operating table. You see that there's like a few stations with some water and rags and all sorts of like scalpels and scissors and things. And then you see there's a syringe and this like long, tall vial of this mostly clear liquid with a slight greenish tint to it. And she says, if you would lie down here.
Yes.
All right. And then she says, just loosen up a little bit. And she starts
Loose.
restraining you on the straps.
Okay.
How resistant to anesthetics are you typically?
Pretty. You're going to need to use a lot. I
Okay.
drink.
As she's asking this, she's like pulling out like more and more on the.
2.
It's like, okay. All right. She clears off. She brings one of the other like smaller tables over with the scalpels on it, and she's like, here, and could you look up for me?
Okay.
And right when you do, she sticks you in the throat with this syringe, shoots it all into your neck.
Oh, I can taste that.
Chuck, give me a risky endure test
What's our name?
with cursed.
Oh, that's easy. No.
Oh my
God.
Oh my.
I did bad. I did real bad.
This is going to determine how much the surgery hurts you.
Oh, I'm fine.
You're quite resistant to the anesthetic.
Very much.
So she's like, all right, well, that should do. There we go. And you're restrained, your arms and legs are held down. And she says, oh, right, if anyone's screaming, she might want to go back upstairs.
Do you have any tea? I have a friend who's been banished from this town, and I would like to get him something to drink.
Friend who's banished.
Apparently.
I
Something about
Why?
an orphanage.
I don't know. There were good intentions, but
you could,
apparently they fell through.
I suppose, if you could get him, walk him around the back of the town and get him to run in here, I'm sure he'll be able to just lay low in here. No one really comes by my shack anymore.
All right, yes, that makes sense.
So
And
we'll say, Dan, you're able to get escorted.
As I look around the house, is there like a spade or anything like what an herbalist would use to like?
Oh yeah,
pot a
there's
plant or
time.
something?
She it seems like she does that type of thing.
Okay, well, I'll along the way to go get Theo, I'll kind of find like an empty corner of the town, and while nobody's looking, I'll dig up a hole and I'll put the mushroom in there. You just
all right.
there. That should take care of it.
Seems dangerous.
You do so. And then
Fine.
Dan, you're escorted back. No problem.
You're going to get me re-exiled.
Well, I could have burned
Double
it, and
exiled.
then what would have happened? That spore stuff would have flown through the air. No, this is much safer. It's fine.
Just propagating a mushroom. What could
yeah.
come of this? That may-
bees. It's not good.
Chuck,
Huh?
roll me an endure cursed test again.
You got it. Difficulty?
Risky.
Risky business. Endure. And you said cursed? Or
Yeah.
cult?
Cursed.
Good.
failure.
Just regular failure this time.
Just regular failure.
I'm moving up.
Roll stress. This will be a d6.
5.
Okay.
Kind of fall out.
Mark 5 blood as she cuts your stomach open.
All right. Fuck, it's major.
Oh my god!
So she's like, it must have sunk in by now. And
Oops, all
I don't know
intestines.
if anyone stays down. You may need to do fear tests if you want to watch.
I can feel everything.
Oh my god.
Hey, I
Genevieve
recognize
is
those
just standing with
intestines.
her back. No.
I'd like to imagine that I'm not
who's staying
there yet.
Okay, yeah, you're not there. Who is staying down to watch the surgery, or is everyone else going like back up and just listening?
No.
Okay.
It's like meat and shit spaghetti down here.
Yeah, Sir Gal was like, apparently he's fine. So just like step out of the room.
Oh yeah, he's strapped down to a table getting his stomach cut open by a woman we've never met before. But yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. He's making
it's
jokes.
fine.
He's fine.
You just give her the you got this and then leave.
Give her the
You
finger
got
guns as
downed.
backing out of the room.
That's a sure sign of success.
It's downed. Let's tack this on to my existing battered. I can't move under my own power.
Well, luckily you're strapped down anyways, so
I'm
Yeah.
in a doctor's office.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can be upgraded to dying.
Dying is the
We'll see, won't we?
Hopefully not.
See you later. Have fun on your stream.
So the only other time you're going to be taking damage is as she's suturing you back up. So she cuts into you, like scalpel down your torso,
Too deep.
pulls up and she's like, "Oh, I'm sure you'll just feel a little bit of pressure." Slices open your stomach, starts pulling through.
Oh,
Not supposed to sound like a zipper.
She's like, "What have you been eating?" As she pulls like chunks of table out. And
There's gonna be some sand in there too. Keep that. I don't want to lose that.
oh my god!
can you hang
think
on
I
to
ate
those
some
for him?
rocks.
You need to eat that later.
maybe you can install a zipper on him so we can get the stuff back out more readily.
We gotta like listen to him every morning, trying to get it out one way or the other, and it's not fun.
Like, oh god!
I do make fun noises when I jump though.
Bored through. You see her go over and she pulls like she has this sort of like plant concoction that she starts churning up with a Wardon pestle and brings it back over to you and kind of pinches it over your open stomach. It burns a lot as it's making contact, not enough to like cause damage. You smell this awful foul smell, and the whole time she's like, "Okay," and then she's kind of like noting some things down in her notebook off to the side. Then she pulls out. After she does that, she pulls out this like mass of brain that's got like some of the tendrils of the mushroom and
just
thing
ate
growing
that.
out of it. It's like, okay. And she drops that off into a bin off to the side.
Oh no. I don't know
She
anything about
pinches
the
another-
wild domain now.
I think you'll still have it, but and yeah, she pinches more of this herbal concoction onto you. Starts suturing you back up. Make another endure curse test.
You got it. Still risky.
Yes.
It's just a failure.
Yeah. Roll stress. D6.
4
4
stress. Mark it to blood. No fallout. I'm doing great.
All right. She sutures you back up, and then lets you sit for a little bit, and kind of like cleans up the blood, and starts putting her tools away and things. And she like looks in your eyes. She like pulls your eyelids apart a little bit, and looks in your ear and your things, and like snaps, starts testing your reflexes and things.
Oh, hi.
It's like, I think it worked.
Nice.
Let me know if you have any visions of anything plant related in the next day or two.
Can do.
We'll go from there.
I would like to imagine being a large gnoll who my image looks like a giant battle-clad pit bull. I come back up the stairs.
She would have shaved you.
Yes, I would have been shaved, and I'm wearing a giant cone.
You're downed, so
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
fuck.
actually dumb.
she just undoes the straps and you like slide off the table.
Let me
I told
just
you
go
you went
ahead
too
and
deep. Zipper noises
just-
are always bad.
just go ahead and
Oh,
put
God,
that cone on you now.
Maybe the anesthetic was a little bit too strong.
I felt
And-
everything. It wasn't strong enough.
And she calls up, is someone available to help me move your friend here?
No, come on down.
Xurl beelines down. Or not Xurl, Genevieve even.
I assume
So you
Xurl
see
just-
Xurl just kind of like
rolls down the floor.
sprawled, bent strangely, shaved, like this big bloody cut with staples holding it back together. And then
Hit him
just like
with
a
your
big
bees.
pile of just random debris that's been pulled from his stomach.
he can't
Stop
stop
putting
you now.
everything in your mouth.
Grab,
What did you do?
grab some of that stuff.
She just takes a handful of sand.
Thanks.
Do you want me to get you up and get you to a bed or something, man?
Yes, I currently can't move below me or above or
At all.
yes.
So I will say she was the Dr. Haunt of the town.
Oh,
So
shit.
had
You did this to
resources
me.
She's like, well, I think it worked at least. So we prevented you from turning into a tree.
Small victories.
But I would let you burn a resource to remove that fallout.
Now he's just a vegetable.
Well, I've got a shitload of cursed flesh, so I probably imagine she took that away from me.
Yeah. She's probably one of the only people that would accept that. So yeah, I'll say you can burn that. She probably even used that to help stitch you back up. So,
Put
I
that
would
back
also
in
imagine
there.
that she probably took my crystal crabs as well.
yeah, I'll do that. And if you burn those two, we'll remove your fallouts.
Good. Yes, you carry me to the bed. Adjust the
You're
pillow
still
so it fits
pretty,
under my cone.
Right. I will say, like, because we're gonna, I guess we're a little bit past here too. So we'll say, like, this session ending here, you're kind of like taking a day of rest with her.
Sir
I
Galvin,
think, was there any other
Yeah.
quick ones that we can hit out here?
she told
think
me
I'm
I'm not
missing
allowed
all
to
of
eat
mine,
vegetables
so.
anymore.
Oh yeah.
Jake, you
Yes.
got yours.
Oh boy.
Is it just
Too much
meat
fiber.
only?
Meat only.
Can't gnaw off the corner of a table?
Fuck, is that a vegetable?
Technically.
No!
She just said no vegetables.
Vegetables come out of the ground. Tables don't come out of the ground.
I will say, Dan, you could get your D8 worth of a secret from her.
Okay.
So if you want to hit that one real quick, do you have a D8 item on hand to trade with her?
I have
or
a
D8
D8.
worth of?
I have my coin purse.
Okay. Yeah.
Money.
She'll take that. She's also probably one of the only people that'll take money here. Most of the druids are like kind of more planting stuff. But that's fitting because the secret that she gives you is that there is also a part of the Red Cap Grove here. There is a pharmacy that's a facility that was erected by people from the Spire. And they use a lot of the plants from the area to make all sorts of different types of drugs and things. A lot of them are sold illegally. Some are sold legally. kind of shadiness, but there's a reason why it's down in the heart, and they're not shipping the materials to produce them up in the spire.
We can get the good stuff here.
And so you do know that pharmacy is here, but the secret she gives you is that pharmacy is usually pretty hard to get into, but they are actively looking for people to help them finish a job where they're trying to make a new route to get to the surface. And most of it's been drilled from one end, but they're having a lot of trouble from the red cap end. They said that there's like part of this tunnel's like overrun or something. There's something in it blocking it. They don't exactly know the details of why they're having so many problems securing that connection. But you would know that there's some sort of deal that the pharmacy is trying to work out with the Vermissian people. Vermissian
establish
order,
like a new connection.
Yeah. They're trying to work out some deal to have like a new route directly to the pharmacy so they can expedite their process to move things out.
One of you all non-exiled people should go talk to them about that.
Yeah.
I certainly could.
And that the pharmacy counts as a different haven than the Druid village. So
Okay.
you are not exiled from there. And technically, you could also remove that exiled if you wanted to burn another resource with not with her, but with
The town mayor, Tom.
yeah, somebody else. You pay that off. Actually, you probably could with her, and she would be able to like move it to somebody else because you couldn't directly go to somebody. But yeah, if you wanted to.
We'll think about it if I ever gotta come back.
Then from there, John, I don't think you took enough blood damage to get a fallout. Yeah, fortunately. And then the only things left here are the other thing that she mentions, Dan, to you is that they're willing to pay quite a lot if that connection is established, and they may even be willing to part with some of their own Vermissian tech.
Ooh,
Nice.
I'd definitely be down for checking that out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that is going to be the hint for your major beat that you're going after, which is your renowned piece of equipment. You suspect you might be able to acquire that as payment. And then, John, your establish connections between two landmarks that are important to your order. The Rissian people usually don't do shady dealings like that, but you imagine they're probably trying to work out just on some like toll road thing.
Yeah.
To tax them on it. So you imagine that would be important to your order. So that's your first inkling on that. I think that's everything for this session.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up next time with like a day of rest going by. You guys kind of laying low with Emrys. We'll pick up with Jake deciding on what he wants to do with the bead and plant thing or all that. We'll work that out next time. Chuck getting back on his feet after being surgically cured. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're going away.
Yeah, we're
so
We're doing
that's
the
it
thing.
for tonight. Yeah, and then what's on the plate for Defenders?
Holy shit. I don't need to use that voice anymore. Let's see. Saturday, which is technically today now at 1 p.m. Central over on Grim and Perilous Plays. I am running some Through the Hedgerows. It's our Tales from the Loop campaign. This group, Dan and I will be there along with Jeff and Melissa and Steven from the Lollygaggers and Maitre and Adam. So we got a good crew. Of course, Dan's not there tomorrow, but Dan is making two guys named Brian fight to death with a broken pool cue. So
Unfortunately, that won't be streamed, but
it won't for legal reasons.
Well, I think you can do that, but you have to go to Waffle House.
Oh yeah, it's going to be in a Waffle
Heard.
House. True.
Yeah.
And that's too far away.
It is, yeah. Tomorrow night I guess tonight, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central, over on twitch.tv/GoodmanGamesOfficial. You can catch myself and Dan and Jake and Joe play some Weird Frontiers. That's Dungeon Crawl Classics in the Weird West, ran by Bert. Sunday, April, John, and I are currently marked to record our first session of John's Pathfinder campaign. Steven and Maitre will be joining us for that. We're going to record it and throw it out on YouTube in smaller chunks.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Wednesday, here on Defenders, All Fear the Ishtar, Dan, John, and I. It's our Alien campaign, and then next Friday we'll be back here for more Heart, ran by Joe.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. Next Friday.
Okay. Damn.
Alrighty. So yeah, we'll pick up. We'll confirm that Chuck is cursed or uncursed. See if Jake picks up a curse. See about connecting the pharmacy to the rest of the heart, and many other shenanigans.
True.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.